Okay, so very good morning on behalf of FDPT in SKT Jaipur. I Praveen Sanchkar, you all in this session. Yet we are proud to have an eminent industry expert, Mr. Gyanesh Tripathi sir among us. It's a matter of great honor and privilege to Dr. Gyanesh Tripathi, currently working in Indian Railway as Chief Mechanical Engineer at Banaras Locomotive Works, Varanasi. He has done his Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering from NIT Silchar in 1996 and cleared Indian Engineering Services in 2010. Currently, he is research scholar also at IIT BH. His specialization is in locomotive design, rolling stock, vehicle dynamics engineering, technology management, and transfer of technology, optimization and resource management. Multi-criteria decision techniques. He is also working on integration of technology and incorporation in railway rolling stock. He headed a team of delegates and expert engineers in Myanmar and Sri Lanka for commissioning locomotives exported to Myanmar Railways. He has taken advanced training on diesel locomotive technology at GE Research Center, USA, and advanced management program at Malaysia and Singapore. Now I request Mr. Gyanesh Tripathi to kindly enlighten the audience by sharing your knowledge and expertise. Over to you, sir.
Sir, you have to unmute yourself, sir. Your voice is not coming.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Actually, Gyanesh, sir, you have to unmute yourself.
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Perfectly all right. Thank you, sir.
Let me share my screen. Is it screen visible to you?
Sir.
Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
So once again, thank you very much, all the distinguished guests and panelists and the faculty member and ladies and gentlemen who are listening to me at this moment. So before I proceed any further, let me introduce Indian Railway itself with you, because most of the people know that Indian Railway is an organization who operates the train and carries goods and people from one place to other place. I'm sorry to tell you that Indian Railway is much beyond this. Indian Railway has a host of other activities which normally people do not know. Like we have a dedicated company that is called Indian Railtel. These are the people who lay the fiber optics beneath railway tracks, and they lease it out to BSNL to provide you all 4G, 5G telephone system. Same way, we have one organization called Indian Railway Bridge Corporation. That bridge corporation does not only makes bridge in India, it makes bridge all over the world. That if I go on telling you, there are fleet of organization which Indian Railway has. Along with operating the trains, we also have many workshops and production units. We produce coaches and locomotives. And I work for one of the production units as of now from last 9 years. That is called BLW, Banaras Locomotive Works. It was producing diesel locomotives till 2016, and now we are 100% electrical locomotive production unit. And I can assure you that Indian Railway is world's one of the biggest, largest Indian railways in all respects. So just if I can take liberty of being slightly with you, then Indian Railway has so many trains, around 7,500 trains, passenger trains running per day, and they are covering a distance that if you start a relationship between these trains, in single day you can go to moon and come back. So that much potential we have. We are currently having around 12,000 locomotives in our fleet, around 80,000 coaches, and around 3 lakh wagons we have. Along with that, 65,500 route kilometers of track, and that is the largest track probably anywhere if I leave in Trans-Siberian and Russian country. So that way, it is a huge organization having immense potential of incorporating all the technology possibly a human brain can think of, and anybody who can design and make anything in the world under the sun, it is ready to be acceptable in Indian Railways, provided it is innovative and fruitful for purpose. Am I audible? Just make it clear once more.
Yes, sir, you are perfectly audible. Yes, sir, you are perfectly audible.
Okay, thank you very much. So, as the topic of the today, which is given to me, that IoT in Indian Railway. Obviously, Indian Railway, IoT itself is a new word. Probably last 10, 12 years we have been listening, and it has been in certain states since a long time. And in recent year, when there were some steps taken toward Industry 4.0, a lot of integration of things are being started and things are taken in the stride. And many new innovations are coming up, and they are being incorporated in Indian Railways also. So if I can explain this slide itself, you can see a camera that basically indicates the applicability of IoT in security devices. If you can see a platform where a lot of things are displayed, that is dissemination of information by use of IoT devices. You can see a ticket being held by a person. That means a comfort level and ease of access and usability of the system. If you see at the other diagram, that shows a signal. I will elaborate on the signaling portion in my discussion. Next diagram shows you a girl who's being entertained by the availability of a lot of infotainment system available on the train. Similar way, we have a possibility of integrating IoT system on maintenance, operation, and management of a lot of fleet and technology in India Railways. Somebody is saying something?
No, sir, please continue. No, sir, please continue, sir.
Yeah, please keep responding. Actually, I get lost sometimes. So I feel like these technologies are not very relevant.
Definitely.
So please keep
definitely.
Right?
So,
current situation I just want to address because it touches us most, where Indian Railways is being actually taking things in faster pace, and things are basically changing in a way which they should change. So recently after COVID, we have gone to touchless, seamless system of integration of passenger and the other infrastructure availability. You can see a person walking inside platform without even touching it, and all the parameters being read by technological sensors of RFID and other things. Second, which is very prominently and very important for us, is now we are thinking of the spread of virus and other possible bacteria in coaches, which was not thought probably a year or two back. So here we are trying to model the flow of air in AC coaches that is coming from the duct of AC in a fashion that it does not infect the other person. That means the flow of air is streamlined, directed, and does not remain confined for a longer time. Obviously, it has a different repercussions also that is being addressed. The major change which has taken in recent past is that all the generations' trust and generations' comfort in the train journey has been lost because of the COVID. People have heard a kind of distrust among themselves, so they are now opting for their own vehicles. So this is another challenge for Indian Railways to bring back the passengers who are using their own vehicles. That way, the vehicles are not only filling a deep hole in their pockets, but also making the infrastructure which is available in our country redundant up to some extent. So we are trying to use a lot of technology and IoT kind of things to address these issues. Now I come to the technical part of it, because I'm into locomotive business, so I will start from the locomotive. But there are possible areas where IoTs are being massively used, massively incorporated. They are in track infrastructure, then rolling stock, locomotives, and other business possibilities where passengers are being addressed, goods are being addressed, and other cargoes is being targeted with the use of IoT information. So this is one very old technology. Probably I remember as long as I have been in Indian Railways, and it is 21 year I have already spent there. This is called remote engine monitoring and management of locomotive system, the locomotive and train. This is called RAMLOT. It gives us all the information pertaining to locomotives, where the health of locomotives, fault status, and other related allied parameters, location and their workability, that the working hours, everything is collected on a microprocessor device, and on GPS base is relayed to a server which is remotely placed at some place, and then it is accessed from various places spread all over the country. Just a brief discussion about this is a diesel locomotive's bare sketch diagram, where I have tried to depict that you can place a lot of sensor at various places where you can read the engine temperature, fuel oil temperature, water temperature, the current being generated by alternator, the braking pressure, the air pressure, and other vital parameters which you can think of, which is required for locomotive's health. It is being captured and continuously relayed to standalone server, which is remotely controlled at in Hyderabad. All the people who are connected with this server, they can access online and they can gauge the health of locomotive at any time. This while on run provides flags to the local operator, local driver also, that your locomotive is having XYZ kind of problem which he is supposed to address, and simultaneously the same problem is flagged to a person sitting there who is a monitor. We call him loco foreman. Always keep watch loco's health. If in case the driver is not able to address and arrest the problem at, then the loco phone or otherwise on his screen, and he will guide him to the actions which is being basically taught or available to him on the top device itself. And we are not address that problem at that moment. So he will guide him to clear the action. He will know as per his predictive possibility. This locomotive will be suitable to work so many kilometers. So he will take a decision and park the train at nearby suitable place. All the detention en route for the train which are going to be trapped if the section is blocked by the defective locomotive. And you can immediately monitor and provide relief locomotives, so you avoid the detention of, you minimize the detention of this train. There are immense possibilities by use of this technology, particularly in the, you can monitor the locomotive's location, so the location of the train. You can monitor its health. You can monitor its working condition. Means slight more technical. It's how the load distribution is being done, how the load cycle is being monitored, how the engine is being loaded, at what particular time people are working, which means how much braking was done in what fashion. If you know slight technology of locomotive, there is something called dynamic brake, that is electrical brake, and there other brake is called pneumatic brake. The drivers are being trained to use dynamic brake first, then pneumatic brake. So you can monitor if driver is properly working with dynamic brakes or not. and the health of dynamic brake itself is okay or not, that also can be monitored with this technology. It is being actually monitored, and I'm very proud to intimate that this technology was incorporated in Indian Railway probably 20 years back. So we are too much into this technology. Another technology which currently being thought of is called end of train telemetry. Here I would like to, I assume that most of the people may not be knowing too much of technical aspect of Indian Railways functioning and train working. So I will take my time to elaborate things slightly so that it becomes clear to the most of the people. And at least there are some people who claim themselves to be railway enthusiasts. So if I can catch them and make them aware of the technology, and probably they can be some sort of a startup business tomorrow for Indian Railways, that will suffice and that will give me satisfaction. So before I explain the end of train telemetry, let me explain the working of the train. So a train is a composition of various loosely connected equipments. We can call wagon, coaches, a locomotive, and at the end of any train you have a special van that is called guard van. In that guard van, if you must be aware, we have certain devices. So what these devices do? In fact, to brake the train, we are using air braking system, and that brake power, that means the air pressure, is being created by a compressor which is installed in the locomotive. So you supply the air pressure to entire length of the train till the end of that train, and you monitor it specific reading in the guard van, whether that reading is available or not. If that reading is available, that we call it the continuity ratio. Second, guard from his end itself, he can brake the train. He can apply it, he can open a knob handle, and then brake will be applied on the train. Third important thing, historical growth will have to be seen here. When there was nothing, no technological input was there, we used to have a plate attached to the last vehicle that was written LV. You must have seen even today a red color plate is being stick on the last vehicle, and that reads LV, that is last vehicle. So last vehicle means in olden days there used to be train parting, and train driver was unaware of the train parting, and he used to leave half of the train in mid of the section, and half of the train used to arrive to the station. So when the train arrives to the station, there was no mechanism to know whether train is completely arrived or some part of it has been left in the section, and whether section is completely clear or not. So that last vehicle board is being attached, was attached in fact, to indicate that this train has completely arrived. When that is why guard was made to sit in that vehicle, and he used to exchange the signals that we are completely arrived in the station and the section behind us is clear. Now what we are doing, we are removing entire wagon with the guard. That guard is also going to lose his job in coming years. We are going to use a smart device in that place, which will have all IoT sensors inbuilt into it that can read and relay the information of the status of the air pressure. That can, if need be, automatically apply the brake. That can interact with the other devices installed all along the track and declare itself to be completely arriving, and it can interact and communicate with other trains also for many other purposes which can be imagined in the future era. So that is one technology which is in fact being incorporated. Some project is started in Indian Railways. We are at the stage of inception, and all over world it is being now adopted in slow fashion. So we are also on the same. This is another advancement in locomotive business. I have talked about the train working, but when you assemble a train, you need another locomotive to detach a wagon or a coach from a train and to attach a wagon or a coach. That operation is called switching operation in America. We called it shunting. In Europe, they used to call it shunting. So we shunt one wagon or coach from one train to other train, and these activities are conducted in a place that is called yard. In that yard, we are having smaller locomotives because they are not supposed to carry a lot of big load. So we are having smaller locomotives for this purposes. And as you must have seen the small kids playing with the remote controlled car. So this technology is incorporated in railways also. We are avoiding any driver on the locomotives. We are controlling it through a remotely controlled device. And this device is further connected to a server where the operation and things can be monitored from remote place. And one operator can operate many locomotives and many shunting activities can be conducted simultaneously from one. This is another revolutionary kind of technology being thought of at the inception stage in the Indian Railways. There is some advancement done in American Railways. We are still at a very beginning of. Can you just nod once again so that I be sure that people are listening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Voice is coming. Voice is coming.
Okay, thank you very much. So again, another advancement in loco technology itself. You must have seen that nowadays in newspaper also they are giving a lot of news about Python rake, Anaconda rake, and Cessnock rake, and so many rakes. So what they are doing, they are connecting 2 or 3 rakes of wagons. Means one rake consists of 58 boxen type of wagon. I will not tell you what is boxen wagon. There is a kind of wagons, station wagon. So 58 boxen wagon with a locomotive consists one rake. So if you connect 2-3 rakes and haul it, that makes a longer rake. But the problem with that rake, as I told you, that the brake pressure is built at one locomotive at the beginning of the train. From there, if you stop the train, so propagation of the pressure degradation is also very slow and it does not reach to the end of the train. So braking also becomes difficult. The critical point is when you connect 2 wagons together, there is one device in between these two is called coupler. Coupler has certain maximum tensile strength. If you stretch it beyond that, there is a possibility of breaking it. So very long train was not possible in few years back. So we have developed one technology that is called as Locotrol. In Locotrol, what we do, we connect microcontroller devices in all the locomotives, and we can program all the locomotives in such a fashion that one locomotive becomes master and rest of the locomotives they become slaves. So in the picture, if you say the first locomotive is master locomotive and rest 2 locomotives are slaves. So once you operate from master locomotives, all the functions are being copied by other locomotives also. And because they are working as independent locomotive with the same velocity, so the pressure, the tensile strength on the couplers is also reduced drastically. They do not remain in a stretch during runtime. They are normal while you are running because the loco in between these 2 trains is pushing simultaneously to the train which is ahead of it and pulling the train which is following it. And along with that, you have 3 distributed sources for air pressure generation and distribution. And brake application also takes place from 3 places. So that way, the control of the train is very, very effective. In that way, we have run a train up to length of say 5 kilometers long, and trials are still going on. That needs a lot of infrastructural modification. People are taking this in it, and this technology is being developed, and it is becoming a regular practice of many railways to take up these kind of projects, and they are running it on regular basis. This is one other gem of technology. So as I told you a few minutes back, that when train used to operate in isolated section, there was a system whereby almost there was no communication between two stations, and there was no communication with drivers also. The train is completely safely running in the section or not. If I can take you few more years back where the train journey started. So there used to be a horse deployed in front of every train. He used to carry a flag, and he will run ahead of the train and monitor the train performance. So when developmental developments taken place, we have installed some telephones in between the section, and when there was a problem, driver or guard used to go to the telephone, connect themselves to the pole, and talk to the nearby station manager to help to send them assistance. In the same parlance, we have installed something called Excel counter. Excel counters were mechanically installed at initial stage. They used to count number of axles which have passed over them at one end of the station and keep that count intact with them, and then count when the train is departing at the other end of the station. If the total number is matching, that means the complete train has departed, and the same data was relayed to the next station. So the next station, if while entering the match is proper, that means the complete train has arrived. This technology was also incorporated, I can say, long. I don't remember when, but it was long then. Now this has shifted to electrical, and again now it is to electronic, where again IoT are inbuilt. There is a lot of transducers and sensors incorporated into this technology. Along with counting the number, now they are counting the load, they are counting the speed, they are counting the disbalance in the load distribution and whatnot. They have a lot of immense potential in many things. So this is one technology which is being upgraded to incorporate IoT system in its storage. So this was about operational condition, and as you must be aware that now talks about IoT in any system is all about monitoring the condition, health monitoring, and predictive maintenance of various assemblies, machines, and infrastructure available. So I will slightly dwell on the possibilities of maintenance activities in Indian Railways, where we are incorporating IoT, or where the possibility of incorporation of technology is there. So if you know how we decide the periodicity of maintenance, if I can fairly put, the periodicity of maintenance of any machine or device is decided based on some experimental data provided by OEM to the user, and the weakest link in entire machine becomes predominant factor for the periodic maintenance. We keep on monitoring that element, and then decide that after these many times this element needs to be changed or overhauled, or whatever action is required. So the practice which we were adopting of periodic maintenance was obviously a kind of predictive analysis, where certain experiment was done by OEM and then advised that this device will fail tentatively after this many days or this many years, after this many cycles of work, and that kind of specification is mentioned in almost all the devices. Now the paradigm shift is taking in fact, that we are now continuously trying to monitor the health of our infrastructure and machines in service. If I can slightly deviate from this, the maintainability issue is a really critical issue for Indian Railways, because there is a lot of pressure on operating trains, and any maintenance demands that trains should not work at that time, and they should be ideally sitting in some yard and some place. And if it is a maintenance of a track, it should be completely avoided to operate anything on that area where maintenance activity is taking place. So that has been posing a big challenge to Indian Railways, and there has been a lot of conflict between interdepartmental officers. One who demands block for maintenance and other who is pressing for the operation activity. So there is a kind of conflict every day in day-to-day working, and most of the time we are compromising maintenance. Here is the very step which is being thought over, that continuous monitoring, and as soon as the possibility of maintenance requirement is there, alternate unit exchange of facility to be developed so that operations are least hampered for maintenance activity. So this is current status, and we are trying to evolve ourselves to take up new things in our study. So these are certain sensors I would like to develop on slightly so that people are aware, those who know about the sensor, they can at least think of using these sensors and cooperate with Indian Railways for their ideas and their ventures if they are doing it. So mostly we are using acoustics and vibrational sensors, light and vision sensors. Electromagnetic sensors are widely used. Motion and speed sensor, yes, they have become part of our day-to-day activity. Temperature, humidity, and proximity sensor is also incorporated. Chemical sensors are not incorporated in sense which they are supposed to be. I think coming time, and when I will discuss something about hearings and all, possibility of using chemical sensors can be seen there. So if I can broadly outline possible measurement, because see, railway working is all about the interaction between track and the vehicle which is moving over it. So there is immense possibility of measuring rail profile and symmetry of the train, vertical and transversal impact monitoring of axle, ultrasonic rail flaw detection, and the complete vision of the track. Similarly, from the wheel point of view, we can monitor the wheel profile. We can monitor the truck condition. Truck means actually most of the people do not know. They call truck is one part of the wagon has two trucks. One wagon has two trucks, so you can monitor each truck and each axle and coach and wagon wheel independently. We can monitor impact of a wheel on the track, because that is another critical parameter. If you know that the wheel is completely round, the impact will be almost zero. But when there is a flat tire, when there is some indentation on the wheel, it will hammer on the rake. So we can monitor the wheel impact load. We can monitor the crack on wheel. There have been some cases of cracks, and even wheel breakage also is not very uncommon in India. So you can monitor the wheel cracks and prevent any breakage of wheel in future. So same thing, machine visualization of entire phenomena can be. Just outline of possible monitoring system. Here, let me tell you one thing, that at present also we are having track monitoring vans in our organization. They are standalone separately and manual intervention kind of devices, which are fitted with all possible sensors, means all the vibrations and possible profiling is done through everything, and their data is collected on computer. They are being run periodically all over the Indian Railways track, attaching with certain trains, or sometimes they are isolated. They are run in isolation also, just to monitor the performance of track, and then the data is visualized and analyzed. So now there is a talk of integrating these vans, these cars, to a remote location which can collect the data online and then probably we can do the data mining and algorithm can be developed where specific monitoring of specific parameters can be done, and then the input can be given to the designing team who can frame the specification at initial stage, and entire design process can be ab initio started with the help of this data. So there are certain latest development which I would like to tell the audience so that they can feel and understand the possibility of the project which can be done with the Indian Railways. This is one experiment which is done. We have attached certain sensors underneath the frame of a coach, and the counterpart is attached to the rail, and they are allowed to communicate with each other. There are certain parameter which is fed to the internal server, which keeps on monitoring the performance of all the communication being done. That communication can be horizontal, lateral, and horizontal impact. There can be a number of possibilities which can be fed to this interaction process. But we are teaching that machine that this is the standard with standard parameter, and if there is any deviation, please flag off. So flags are being raised that in this wheel or in this coach or in this track there is certain defect. And as of now, manually people go and watch it. They revalidate the flag, and then the requirement of attention is there, the due attention is provided. This is one we are doing it as of now. This is one project one of IIT is doing for Indian Railways. They have installed simple attachment underneath the coach. If you can see, this has many cameras which is monitoring the measuring the profile. Then there are laser being reflected and data is being captured, and there are many devices attached on this which are continuously collecting data while relaying it to server. And yes, of course, there is no real access taken. We are studying data provided by IITs and trying to formulate algorithm and trying to incorporate the data while we are making decisions for procurement. This is another project which is being done. This is one area which is, I am slightly deviating from rolling stock to other infrastructure. Can you just confirm me once again that I am not only speaking to a screen?
Yeah. Very interesting, sir. Very interesting, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I will don't mind, but I will, because I feel that I am speaking to a screen and it does not give me any entertainment value.
Yeah. In online mode, that is the trouble. Yeah, but we are listening. Yeah, but we are listening. Very interesting. That's very interesting. That's such advanced. Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir.
So this is one possible area. You know, Indian Railways has many bridges. If I can just give you rough data, it is more than 1 lakh bridges, small and big, clubbed together. They are, see, all the infrastructure in Indian Railways is monitored every day. I would like to take your attention to one small advertisement that was being shown long back. There was a doctor, there was an engineer, there was one person who used to hammer the track during the rain and winters, and then there used to be a tagline that because we have देश का नमक खाया है. So we are so committed that we monitor every aspect, but the inch of the track is formed every day. All the bridges, track, and everything is formed every day, just to watch that there is no miscreant activity and there are no on the system which can lead to a catastrophic event, and where we lose a lot of resources in terms of our human value and monetary terms. So bridge is another vital parameter, which is in fact not only critical for the people who are targeting our country from the point of their political and other activities, but it is important for other infrastructural requirements. And it has a varying parameters. Like if you put transducers and sensors here, we can sense the wind velocity on a very remote place and a place where the accessibility is difficult. You can monitor the impact of train moving, you can monitor the life, you can monitor the strains at a particular, anything you can think of. I would like to draw your attention toward a project which not Indian Railway, but Department of Irrigation and Flood Control is doing. They, long back, they were supporting one project, but from the state government, that if somebody installs, takes an integral network of the sensors, which can monitor the level of rivers flowing underneath these bridges, and then they can predict the possibility of flood in the country. And this was, means if you do that kind of project, the state governments of particular state, they were making certain reimbursement of the investment done. And it was done with the help of Indian Railways. Probably in Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka, they have taken up this project to monitor and predict the flood by monitoring the level of rivers flowing underneath the bridges. So this has a lot of other areas also where technological think tank can sit and think out of the box to use all the infrastructure for any other predictive analysis of national importance. So here also IoT is taking a big role, and Indian Railway is of course doing their bit, but it is not in big way, or otherwise if it is there, I am not at least aware that they are taking up something of considerable amount. So I will encourage people to take up these issues with authorities and at various places and try to explore if something new can be thought of. I will go back to my favorite topic, that is rolling stock, being mechanical engineer. If I'm expert in something, that is called rolling stock. So as you are seeing, this is a normal bogie which is being augmented with many sensors. They are sensors for temperature, they are sensors for vibration, they are sensors for noise, they are sensors for gyroscopic movement, there are load sensors, and there are many n numbers of sensors just to monitor the health of the bogie. And the idea is that you monitor all the data as usually, collect it to one collectible port and send it to a server where again the PET analysis can be done, and we can formulate some algorithm, and we can formulate some decision making parameters where use of big data and artificial intelligence is taken to root level of designing and making decisions of maintainability. So this is just a broader diagram just to depict the possibility of. Here from I will take what Indian Railways is doing. So one important thing is hot Excel box field detector. Before this, let me tell you one thing. Quite likely user of Indian Railways and normal passenger does not know that when a train arrives on the station, it is very respectfully, very honorably received by the people available at the station. So if you must have taken notice of, there are certain people who are sitting just before the platform and watching underneath the wagon or coaches. They are called TXR. They are called train examiners, and they are around 4 to 5 people at both the end of the station. So what they do, they in fact receive the train and monitor it. They monitor it by smelling that any odd smell, if it is coming from any of the wheels. They try to monitor and sense the temperature of wheel if it is becoming hot and if it is not more than the desired temperature. They monitor any loose component if it is hanging and causing trouble. They try to listen the sound of the wheel. If it is sound is not normal and there is some anomaly, they notice, they report it immediately. And by they become so expert that they gauge the entire health of the train just by monitoring and watching it over the years. And whenever they trap something and they catch something unusual, immediate attention is provided on the railway station itself. So hot Excel box wheel detector is a very important step. As we were doing it by touch and feel by human this thing, so 10, 20 years, 10, 12 years back, I say, when I was a junior officer, we used to provide them this handheld temperature sensors, and they used to sense the temperature by sending laser gun on the wheel and then monitoring the temperature. So this has been now automated. We have installed again a communicative device on every wheel, which has two portions. One which relays the heat parameters, and other which reads the parameter, means accept the data. So the accepting device is fixed at a place on the ground, and relaying device is attached to the wheel. It keeps on continuously monitoring the temperature and relaying it to the device which is reading the temperature continuously. And these reading devices are connected to a computer on the yard itself, and you can again have a lot of other check and balance kind of system made. So if a temperature goes beyond this, red flag and the sound and the alert sound is relayed to the staff. SMS messages are also being issued to the staff, and then the staff takes corrective action. Similarly, we have tried to incorporate so many things in our stride by adopting technology in bits and pieces. So if you see this is just a detail where we have done and what we have done. So this was taken up in Chunar and Allahabad division, Kota division, and other places of Western Railway, and it is perfectly working as of now. We are trying to learn a lot of things from this, and we are hoping that all integration in coming days will be a reality. And as we see in films and dream that if it is possible to monitor the train and the punctuality of train can be made 100%, probably with the help of all this technology we will achieve that. I have been repeatedly talking about the impact. So this is one more device we have adopted, incorporated, and it is running fine. It is called Wheel Impact Load Detector. We call it WILD. So WILD is a project done with Indian Railways. It is now working at many yards, many places. It is monitoring impact of the load on many transducers, many sensors which it is having. It monitors the wheel slip, load, and other parameters, and it issues the flag also. This is where the impact has been found high, and there are certain cases where flat wheel was detected and the wagon was detached and action was taken. This we have already implemented. So I will go slightly deep into this because I have. So as I have told you, this is the function of wheel. While this is the concept that wheel is completely round, and when there is any anomaly in the size and symmetry of the wheel, it will misbehave, and that misbehavior will be in terms of the load impact. So we are trying to catch that misbehavior and trying to catch it. So what it consists of instrumented track, signal conditioning, and real-time embedded controller, impact load analyzing software, wireless data transfer, and power backup. The beauty of this concept is that here also Indian Railways has taken one good step, that it is a solar operated system which operates, which starts collecting the data as soon as the train enters into that specific area where the WILD system has been installed. There are some switching devices. When they read entry of a train by some mechanism, they start into our system and start collecting data. Once the data is collected, it is simulated and assimilated and then sent to the server. And once the train is passed, the system is finished. It is sucked in. And the further processing is done at the end of server. So it is not only economical in terms of energy consumption, it is very smart technology. We have deployed it at many places. We are continuously working on it. Ordinary Indian traveling through Indian Railways cannot perceive it, but yes, we are taking it in a big way. This is again similar depiction of same concept. This is photograph of actual placement of gauges, which 6 gauges which has been provided, and they make a kind of Wheatstone bridge, and data analysis is done depending on the current. If there is a disbalance in the Wheatstone bridge, this relays signals, and then analysis is done. So how much delay was, how much imbalance was there, and that amounted to how much of the load, and that. This is the device panel arrangement we have around the track. This is all about analysis concept we are looking. These are the automated features we have already intimated to you. So clubbing all this together, Praveen, can you just nod once again?
Yeah, sir. Deepak Smart Yard is going on. Smart Yard is going on.
Yeah. Thank you very much, actually. So, as the concept I told you about wild, about other hot excel detection and other things. So we have incorporated everything in one big project that is called Smart Yard. So if you know, yard is a place where you make or break a train, where you maintain a train and attend a train for fault, where you make a train ready for operation, where you load and unload the goods from wagon, and obviously when you use it a passenger, the platform on which you are riding, that is called passenger yard. We call it yard in our terms. So yard is a place where these activities are conducted. So incorporating all these technology, we have thought of a concept that is called Smart Yard. These were again tried at a place called Mughalsarai and Tughlakabad. Why we are doing it in these places? I am very proudly able to tell you that Mughalsarai yard is world's biggest yard for goods traffic. Nowhere in the world we have so big yard. So this is a way. This remains always critical and remains always vital to do all the trials here in Mughalsarai itself. And Tughlakabad is another yard which connects south and north and east, all part of our country. So this is another important yard where we do a lot of trials and testings. So what we are going to get from a Smart Yard and what it encompasses into its concept. What is possibility of having it? So this has a detection equipment and maintenance equipment, because once you detect the problem, you will have to attend it immediately. So these are the devices which are assisting devices, like wheel impact load detector, hot excel, hot box, acoustic bearing detector, online monitoring of local rolling stock health, machine vision inspection system, load imbalance and over. These are all things which are being incorporated into Smart Yard. If you know, when a train arrives on railway station, you must have seen one RPF fellow writing down all the numbers of coaches and collecting the data. That can be now done by use of RFID technology. We are taking it way with Chris, and this is being incorporated. So these are the equipment which are given there. I don't think it is of any use to the people who are interested in only IoT. So these are certain advantages, as it has been again envisaged in many other technological inputs, that advanced maintenance body reduced detachment of wagon because you are periodically able to maintain them. Safer trains operation, it is being felt and forward that people will be safer while traveling and using all these technology. Maintenance will be predictive and chance of human errors. If you know almost all the accident in Indian Railways, human error contributes for around 60% of the accidents and the railway. So chance of human error will be minimized. That is a big chunk of unsafe working. If we are able to incorporate this technology, I think our trains will be more than 90% safe. And other savings like damage cost and detention cost will be reduced. I go back to my favorite topic of condition monitoring. Last time I told you about the track condition monitoring. Now we'll focus on conditioning of the coach. You'll be surprised that many things will be revealed in this. So, as usual, as the basic framework is that you collect the data, relay to some remote place where data analysis is done. Usual flags are taken, the messages are given to the maintenance staff to be cautious or to be active, and then actions are taken based on the decision of the algorithm software and the decision of human implement. So that way, the same cycle is depicted here also. You can use all the machine learning, artificial intelligence, neural network, whatever technological goals people are aware of, they can incorporate here. And yes, the servers which we had in physical form, now they are being shifted to cloud. We are doing it, and we have already have our own data center in Sakur Basti. We are making our own cloud because the data is humongous and huge amount of processing is required. So I don't think this is very economic. Leave out the cloud. So we are trying to develop our own cloud and our own. So that kind of things are available and it is being taken into development. So the most essential thing which people know is either the platform or the train or the coach. So in Indian Railways, we have taken something called a smart coach. This smart coach has many facilities, many new concepts which is incorporated. First and foremost is digital destination board. Destination board is a digital in terms of display, and in terms of capturing the data, it has GPS system. It can read the location of a place where itself has the type, and it can relay to the passenger sitting inside on a display board that X station is coming or a station has already arrived. So it will avoid any need of looking through the windows for long. Whether my station has come or it is about to arrive, I do not know which station is coming. And the person sitting at the upper part will not be directly down to ask, and you actually the station has come. So it will avoid all that trouble. Then there is a GPS-based public announcement system also, where it announces the train and the message-based arrangement can be based integrated in the mobile to know exact destination that your destination is arriving and you can be ready to board the train. And that we call roof-mounted packages. Air conditioning, AC is basically HV in and air conditioning. There are a lot of IoT is used. We are monitoring it remotely. Some now, like pressure of the flow of air and other vital parameters being monitored. But it has a lot of scope of monitoring comfort conditioning in the coaches. The humidity and the temperature, actual temperature. Sometimes you feel there is a localized heating or cooling in temperature, and there is a method by which you can balance it. sometimes it gives a lot of discomfort to the passenger when coach attendant at specific computer runs away and you are not able to trace him during entire journey, and you keep on suffering with the higher low temperature depending on the atmosphere. So if we keep on monitoring and individually tuning the RMP units to suit the requirement of passenger, probably that will be a biggest achievement for comfort level. That will address at later stage of time. But as of now, 6 cameras are installed just to monitor the security of passengers and monitor unruly passengers also. So that you can take the strong and effective steps to correct the things. One more important idea is, like most of you must have felt, you get in the morning, you will go water in your train, and you keep suffering till next destination, and water is filled up in your coach, and then you can use that water for your daily routine. Sometimes during summer days, while on run in mid heart of the day, the water finishes, and then it becomes a nuisance. So we are trying to integrate that also. We are trying to monitor the water level. There is something called water level indicator. We are trying to integrate it and trying to relay the message of water level to next point, so that without any alarm, without any complaint and everything, people are able to without and other devices which I have already elaborated discussed, that will input sensors and recording, vibration analysis, and everything incorporated. Time is limited. I can. Up to what time I am supposed to continue?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Up to what time I am supposed to continue?
Yeah. Till the 1 o'clock, sir. Till the 1 o'clock. I know here it is the 1:30, sir. 1:30. 1:30.
Okay. So all these things are being incorporated. I will just skip through some slides of real picture of the coach which is being taken into service. These are possibilities of other monitoring system in the coach, where it is in comfort conditioning. I have already integrated. Battery is another vital component of a coach. This can be monitored and life assessment can be done. Water level measurement I have already told. And gyroscopic movements I have already indicated. And then other safety parameters which is being taken into consideration. So this is one thing which is already there. This is called passenger information. A coach computing unit called P2 that integrates all the systems which are along the GPS based or destination mode, and all these things are incorporated into one unit. And this is a schematic diagram of the P2 unit that you can display location. You can integrate it to your PRS display, that is passenger reservation system. Then you can integrate it. You can relay and you can find out the status of toilet is another important. You can integrate it with the infotainment system, announcement, then overboard display, on the board display, and air conditioning, electrical power, and everything you can think of that will be integrated within the smart. This is the unit, actual unit which is placed on a coach. Power is the simple arrangement of a computer, as everybody must be aware. This is an actual display unit which is in the practice. Display unit showing you the destination which it has arrived and integrated with the display board inside the board. This is the display board inside which projects the current status of train, where it is running and what place it is arrived. And other information can like welcome and goodbye messages can be displayed, or probably some kind of arrangement, emergency requirement of doctors or any other things are there that can be displayed and widely spread among the passengers so that action is visited immediately. What payment system we have been repeatedly telling you from my side that you must have traveled in the aeroplanes. There are certain airlines which provide you a lot of facility to download movies, download some serials, and download some songs, and then enjoy your journey by listening. The same kind of concept being promoted and developed in Indian Railways also, wherein you can just plug in your device and download entertainment of your choice. It can be international song or movie or some movie in colloquial language that can be provided as a tailor-made facility to the people who are traveling. This is the emergency talkback system installed in the coaches. In case of emergency, you can just push the button and you can talk to the train supervisor who will immediately respond, and depending on the intensity of the emergency, it will take through. Like I told you, doctor, you can just press the button, talk to the supervisor that you need the doctor. He will display it all in all the train coaches at the train at every place that if any doctor is available, the doctor can be your berth or seat, and then attention can be given in case of emergency. Security surveillance is available. So this is onboard condition monitoring system. Again, step of thought from the smart yard where we were collecting a lot of data and status of bearing and other under frame equipment. This onboard condition monitoring system is same thing, that you monitor entire battery of the component which is stored under the rail, and then you can monitor on board it. There is a supervisor already deployed in the train who can see the health of running components, and again the integration of it is possible. All widely imaginable possibilities you can always integrate. That kind of it is being thought of it and incorporated. So the cost of repetition, I will read this slide, that this system can pick up early warning sign and impede track or track defect based on vibration and everything. However, the system needs to be fitted enough with enough time for generating the required resolution of data to convey. I mean to say that the population of these kind of coaches will have to be increased in Indian Railways before we are able to make a substantial advance and are able to develop a concrete algorithm which can guide us in stable and appropriate steps to be taken by the system. So the HVAC, so which I was telling you, again same thing. It is the real picture of equipment which is mounted on top of the coach. This is WLI unit, upper level indicator unit. It is actually mounted on. You can see between two tanks, the unit is mounted and it is connected with a SIM. As of now, what we are doing is connected with the SIM. It automatically generates a message to a designated mobile number. They communicate that water level has reached up to this level, and then the supervisor decides to fill up the water. So this is how practically done. Flip the other important thing, as I told at the beginning of my presentation, an hour back that the train is basically operated through air brake system. So to make air brake effective, there is complete brake rigging, having a lot of smaller component and valves and other things, which is being employed to make an effective braking system. So many a time, these smaller components, they malfunction, they go defective, and they do not perform up to the appropriate level due to certain things like air in India has a lot of dust, a lot of moisture, a lot of other things which are contributing to various things. And then these valves become stuck. So when brake is applied, many times it does not releases, and the wheel, specific wheel, remains intact and it does not rotate. So when you operate a train in that condition, in case of rotating, the wheel starts slipping. And wheel slip, it basically erodes at a specific place in the wheel, and because there is no rotational motion, the rail wheel interaction becomes very solidly intact, and the erosion of track is very high. So wheel slip is another important thing which needs to be addressed and effectively monitored and arrested immediately to avoid bigger catastrophe. Because in case of larger flat tire, there is possibility of derailment, and otherwise, if continuously on a track the wheel slip takes place, it burns the rake and then burns the rail, and then rail become very susceptible for causing derailment at that specific place. So this is like description of what we are doing. We are just trying to install some speed sensor in wheel of the coach and trying to monitor the speed of wheel through this speed sensor wheel. And if it is not monitored, if it is not noticed to be rotating at appropriate speed at appropriate time, a signal is issued and the action is taken to either release it through manually by driver, or otherwise action is taken to identify and take corrective action on defective component. If you have noticed, on platform, whenever there is a train standing, so the one person travels along the train, and he has a big rod in his hand. He pulls one device, he inserts the rod underneath the, and then he pulls one wire kind of thing, and then there is a sound created and valve is released. So that activity is particularly done to ensure that there is no sticking of any brake is there, and all valves are properly functioning. And if it is not functioning, they are manually released at every braking point. So to avoid that exercise every time, it is being now translated into technological concept that this can be arrested and taken care of while it is running itself. And at appropriate places, if it is found that some specific valve is repeatedly malfunctioning, by monitoring the behavior of valve, that valve can be changed before it causes any serious trouble. So, if I proceed for the next section of signaling, just intimate me that people are listening.
Yeah, sir. Yes, please. Yeah, sir. Yes, please.
So, over and above the rolling stock and other infrastructure, IoT is massively being used in area of signal. Here I would like to take minutes to explain to the audience about the signaling system. I am quite sure, because I know Indian masses are quite inclined to know about the politics of the country, but they do not know technology too. And there are not too many people who are interested in knowing the technology. So a bit of development of technological aspect of signaling in Indian language. as I've already told you long back, that when train started in 1853, there were some horses deployed to escort the train and ensuring that the route is clear, and train was obviously running at the speed which was lesser than the gallop of an horse. They were carrying some flags in their hand. That flag used to be green as long as the section is clear. If there is to be any problem, the horse rider will raise a red flag, and then the train will start. Horse has gone, but that red flag has remained with us. So that red flag was taken up by the guards and drivers and the station managers. They started monitoring the train performance by use of the flags. So when train formation was done and longer trains were there, to communicate with the drivers, if you remember, there was a movie I saw, then the guard used to shout on his height of his pitch that all aboard and all clear. Then the driver used to start it. But then when it does not become feasible to communicate by shouting, they have started using whistle and the flags. So flags were exchanged and the whistles were blown so that everybody becomes cautious that train is about to depart. While train was running, so train runs in sections. Like from one station to another station, we call it a section. So if there is any train in between that section, you cannot allow another train from station to leave the section and cause an accident or derailment in between the railway station. To ensure this, we have started signaling. So if you remember, there was an arm and 3 signals were given to them. One was red, other was yellow, and third was green. So green means proceed, yellow means be cautious, to stop at given signal, and the red was that stop it here. So when we started, the signals they were called semaphore kind of signals. So these semaphore signals were in daytime understood by the location of the arm which they have. So if the arm was down, that means the green signal is there. If arm is horizontal, then it means the yellow signal is there, you have to be cautious. And if the signal is raised, that means it is above 30 degrees of the horizontal, 45 degrees of the horizontal, then that means it is a red signal. But during night time, we used to have a lamp in that, and there used to be a lamp man who used to ride on the pole and put lamp in that so that signal can be seen by the driver. From that journey to this stage, we have entered into automatic signal. Okay, before proceeding to automatic signal, so how do you get a signal? Before getting a signal, in fact, you need to do a lot of exercise to ensure that there is a lot of interlocking is needed to be done before signals are given to the train to proceed or to stop. And the interlocks are broadly can be classified as all the level crossing gates in that section should be closed. Number 1. If the train is proceeding to a track which is in the track on which it is standing, then the track should be set and the locked so that there is no miscreant activity takes place and the derailment does not happen. Then the entire section which is to be operated, which is to be taken in operation, is clear in all this. When the railway station master used to ensure all these things, then only he will issue a section clear signal, and then signal will be given to the driver. Why I am making this foundation to tell you that now a lot of communication have gone into the train operation. People will not probably understand if I just jump to tell you that this is how things are managing. So this system of operating train is called absolute block system. That means you have to be absolutely clear in that block that there is no train, everything is set right, and then only signal is given. Then we have developed electrical system where the signals were integrated by motors and they were operated by switches from things. And the communication was properly established between all the level crossing gates. Once the gates are off, the signal was relayed to the station, and he has a panel in front of him where he can see that all the level crossing gates are properly closed, and then points are properly set and locked. Then he is able to give that signal from his bench itself. Now, no need to go to anything. So this system has further elevated itself to something called moving block system. That is called automatic block system. So automatic block system is a system where the system is intelligently built in a way that it reads the movement of train ahead of it and relays it to the train following it, and take decision accordingly that what kind of signal is supposed to be given to the train. So we have incorporated one more signal that is called double LO. That means if double LO is there, so the driver is given signal that quite likely that you may face a LO signal ahead of you. So be ready to be extra cautious when you get a LO signal. All the signaling system is basically governed by the distance required to stop a train, and that is obviously a critical thing. Just to draw analogy, if you can imagine that when you are applying a brake on your car with a four wheel, how you feel and how your car behaves until unless that is not EBD and other electronically equipped to distribute proper braking force. If you remember the old films, there used to be a screeching sound, and the car used to go topsy-turvy. So when you are applying simultaneously brake on so many wheels, it becomes really difficult to control the train. So it takes around a kilometer to really stop a train from a speed of 110 or 120 kilometers. For that, we need to have a lot of intelligent technology incorporating in our system so that decisions are taken. So this automatic block signaling is a kind of a step forward in that direction, where signals are relayed advance and told them that you are likely to get this signal, and then driver behaves in that way. This has increased a lot of potential of IoT, and now we are working trains with a smaller section. Means absolute block has gone. Now this automatic block is that block length itself is decided by the behavior of the train which is moving ahead of you. I think that must be slightly complicated, but try to digest it if you can do it. Further advancement into this area is called ETCS, that is electronic train control system. I will not go deep into the technological aspect, but as you know, IoT, it incorporates a lot of concepts of IoT. It integrates all the technology which I have already discussed. Along with that, it has a communication device which it communicates with the ground devices and the system which is erected to have communication with it. It communicates with it in real time that this is my position, this is my speed, this is my possibility of braking distance, and this is my health status, this is my status of a component, these many passenger I have, this much of everything is communicated to the environment which is made here. And the train ahead of it also receives the same communication. So they kind of make a loop in which that loop they are communicating with themselves, with the devices installed at ground, with the devices installed at the train leading it and a train trailing it. In that way, they are continuously in talk with each other, and they are able to take decisions. And there is no signaling or a manual intervention. If you can remember, few years back, there was a trial done in Delhi Metro, where the driverless train was tried. It was basically this technology. In fact, it was not able to do it. But in my practical life, I have seen it in Singapore, Hong Kong, and Malaysia. They are very thoroughly adopting it in their metro system. And I'm quite sure of Hong Kong and Singapore, they are using driverless train for it. So this is that kind of technology and that kind of potential we have. Yes, we are slightly lagging here. I'm deliberately saying slightly because Metro Rail incorporates so many things of this concept, but only a driver is still there because of our lack of confidence in the system and in the technology, and mishap. We are not able to grow the confidence level, and that is why we are still running with that driver operated trains. But I can assure you, within few years, say 5 years down the line, we will have driverless metro train at least, and that will the technology will spill over to Indian Railways as the time passes by. So this is again same depiction of same thing, just to make more clear it is there. Right. This is a actual train photograph composed on the possible devices which can be installed. These are only indicative devices. There are a number of private devices you can always think of, and you can pocket your share of technological intervention. If you are into IoT, yes, I would encourage you to explore many possibilities which is Indian Railway is offering for the research scholars and institutes. Before I proceed any further, can I have one more nod that I've been heard by the people?
Yes, sir. Voice is coming. Voice is coming.
Voice is coming. Other people are not allowed to speak or what? Nobody else in this program.
Yes, sir. Other participants are muted.
Okay. That's okay. So that's what I thought of giving you in parlance of railway operation and maintenance. Right. So with this, I have initially indicated that Indian Railway is not only train operation business, but it is a production business also. We produce locomotives, we produce coaches, we produce other equipment also. And you may not be knowing that we export locomotives to around 36 countries in the world. Of course, they are third world countries, from Angola to Somalia to many African countries to Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and all these East Asian countries. They are parallelly, if not completely, they are part of Indian Railways. They thrive on the technology percolated down to them from Indian Railways spillover. So we have big setup of production, big setup of maintenance. There are many workshops, almost 1 or 2 workshops in every division of Indian Railways, who caters to periodic overhaul and periodic maintenance activities of the rolling stock. And there are production units. So one production unit where I am sitting in as of now, which is called Banaras Locomotive Works. There is another production unit which is in Chittaranjan, that is called Chittaranjan Locomotive Works. Both of us produce electrical locomotive as of now. And there were 2 more production units which have come up for loco production. That is, one is in Marora and another is in Udipur and Bihar. Thanks to the pragmatic and magnificent Rail Minister Sri Lalu Prasad Yadav, that important production unit went to Bihar, and now they are struggling with their own fate. So coach production, we have coach production unit in ICF Chennai, RCF Kapurthala. Then there is another production unit in MCF Raebareli. Some more units are being planned for future. There are more units. They are producing wheels. Wheels is another critical and very important parameter. We are producing wheels. So giving this backdrop, taking you out of the mindset where train was operating. Now let us go to.
Sir, some speaker is on there. Speaker is on there. Because it is echo coming.
Who's my speaker?
Yeah.
No, I don't have any other speaker. It must be some of your participants must be.
Participants are muted.
No, I don't have any other speaker. So shall I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Do you need to take any action to avoid? I think I don't have to do anything. So, giving this background, let us travel ourselves to the production unit and the technology, specifically IoT, how it is being used in production unit, and how beneficial it is going to be there, and what is the possibilities of further exploration of incorporation of this technology. So, as most of you must be knowing, this is called Industrial Revolution number 4, Industry 4.0. And why it is called, it is well known to us that initial industrial revolution started when handloom industries started blooming in Europe. Then we have attached the steam engine that was developed by James Watt at that time, and we took steam engine to almost all possible heights, from household industry to train business, and used it in massive way. Then further development of electrical machines happened, and we incorporated electrical machines from even a smaller device to a larger device. As of now, we are using a lot of electrical machines. I say that electrical machine is like salt in the food. It has occupied the same place in the engineering. So electrical machine has occupied so vital place in our life that you cannot think any device which is deprived of the electrical machinery into it. So when the electrical machine has penetrated so deep, a further step was taken that we have electrically and computerly controlled these machines. That was called CNC. Industry third revolution. We have a lot of big benefit out of that computerization in the machines. We have put, in fact, virtually brain in that machine, and the role of operator were almost minimal. Now, further, they're trying to make on that and trying to make the machine more intelligent. That means that the brain in the program which we have is. So Indian Railway has a lot of businesses. We have a lot of big CNC machines doing cash work in production of different components and then different equipment. They need to be integrated in which cases we are taking steps at various places. Almost all the workshop, all the production units are taking up some of their production line to the Industry 4.0 definition. And the concept is that eventually all the workshops and production units will be integrated to a master server, whereby you can monitor all the things, requirement of raw material, raw components for maintenance, the predictability of maintenance, the downtime and the balance of the machines can be done at a centralized place. Even today also we do some like a machine, and we work offload this work to that workshop, and that work is done at that place. We do it, but it is being done manually. Somebody need to call at appropriate time, and it has another attached cost to it. Coming days, it will be online. Things are being bit and pieces. It is being incorporated in the way. This is the reason why I have allocated data. It is the efficiency decision of if you are a private agency, you can take decision of laying up the people at same time, and then you can hire that time to have any of the book application. So these are brought by this. They are not reading devices, they have not communication devices, they have server, and from there the data analysis and other things are usually done. Yes, in this field, substantial growth has been done by some private agencies, and they are trying to incorporate this and Indian agencies too. We are doing a lot of things. We have already, if I can we have a lot of various sorts. So we have a centralized compressor center where many they are continuously working to provide air pressure. At many times, the pressure is not required in specific stop, but still it is being fed and compressor is working. Though at the the nodal valve is there, it is running idle, but still it is running in continuous. So we have taken a step that software has been developed whereby you can read pressure required for a specific stop, and a centralized reservoir has been made where total amount of total pressure required at a time is monitored and controlled, and accordingly certain number of compressors are done. If the pressure goes below a certain critical level, then other compressors automatically they switch off the compressors, and the pressure is built. So accordingly, the duty cycle of compressor is reduced, and maintainability is also obviously gone down. Pressure power consumption is lower. Required operator is also gone down. This is one project to incorporate in our day-to-day activities in workshop, so that keep the pace with other development. This point of time, most of the people must be aware of it and need not deliberate on it anymore. So the favorite thing that obviously along with the solution, along with the monitoring of functioning of machine and the adaptability of operator and his efficiency, you can always monitor component level performance of it, and you can continuously gauge the performance also and behavior of your machine. So in that way, you can monitor and indicate that, and the concept says that if you feed machine software that in the system. So the requirement of any kind of inventory and other things will be minimum if this is integrated in the system. Obviously, it is a kind of a far-fetched vision, but still possibility are there, and we are thinking and deliberating upon right now. These are kind of reports which is possible taking load and the health parameters and the monitoring of performance of data we can always incorporate all the analytics required and suited to you for a specific purpose. Immense data can be collected in the but until unless you know analytics is obviously important too. After collecting a lot of data and you need to obviously make use of it so that the analytics part is there. You can do it. There are certain advantages which briefly I have already indicated that you can improve your productivity, you can improve efficiency, you can share the knowledge and information available at your end and enrich the knowledge from other person. You can reduce the cost and use the resources better, and you can take decisions also taking and capacity decisions of resource which you are going to develop. So you can ultimately develop a ecosystem which is information power. And continue, you can have a lot of advanced monitoring possibilities and much is more than enough which I have in.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
I have 10 minutes more for the question answer session. If somebody wishes to know, I'm available for 10 more minutes. You can unmute the participants.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There is a one query from the participant. They send in the chat box from the Ravindranath Chavan. In the railways, are there any schemes of sponsoring project for the engineering student or faculty, sir? For the engineering student or faculty, are there any schemes? In the railways, are there any schemes?
The scheme of
Sponsoring project.
oh yes. Actually, we have one organization called RDSO, right? So RDSO is basically a research design standard organization based in. So their work is to coordinate and cooperate with the academia and industry to do project. RDSO. And there are various projects people have taken from railway, but they have not delivered. So I can tell you from other side of the table that in fact, because of the performance, poor performance, qualify it in the way that because of the poor performance of many eminent institutes like yes, budget are being sponsored and things are being taken in developmental process. As of now, I know that ISC Bangalore involved into
Voice is not clear, sir.
project
some
is you ask your participant are they getting it okay?
yes sir, yes sir.
Hello?
Thank you, sir. Yes sir,
So
there
could
is some disturbance in the voice, but
listen?
yeah sir. So now, honorable
So
sir
you
and
can
dear
ask your
participants, good noon. No voice is.
no
I
problem.
think
Go
they
ahead.
got their answer, sir. Their answer, sir. Yeah. Honorable sir and dear, good noon. I am Dr. Deepak Kumar, faculty in Mechanical Engineering. Thank you for this session regarding the Indian Railway. And let me propose for. There is some echo problem. Okay. On behalf of the FDP team and entire SKIT fraternity, I extend my sincere thanks to our esteemed speaker and this session dynamic personality, Mr. Gyanesh Tripathi, Chief Mechanical Engineer at Banana and for sparing his busy schedule to grace this session. Sir, we are grateful to you. Sir, we are grateful to you for explaining the various concepts of the smart yard, which are useful in Indian locomotive. So today we had an opportunity to hear you explain the applications of the Indian Railway. The session was very knowledgeable and informative. Now may I request all the panelists to put on the cameras for a session. Dinesh sir, has been completed.
Yes, sir. Sir, wait for a minute.
Okay.
Ganesh sir, your video feed is not coming.
Is it now? Is it
Yes,
now
yes,
okay?
perfectly all right. Perfectly all right, sir.
So thank you very much.
Okay,
I think
sir.
is it okay?
Yes, sir, it was fine.
So
Thank you all once again. For the participants, we meet again at the next session on cloud computing in IIoT. Thanks, sir.
thank you.